Can I begin by welcoming you all here this morning? And it's good to see so many back in the hall. I do apologise for the late start, but some papers went missing for a little while and they had to be found. So hence the delay. We will try and get on as quickly as possible with the order of business today. We do have a full schedule, so I'd ask for your cooperation and your support in getting through the schedule today. Again, I thank you for your support yesterday. We had a very successful rules conference yesterday, and business was done with an hour to spare. So hopefully today we will get through the business. Our huge topic for today is Croke Park, and I want to give as much time as possible to the debate on Croke Park today. So I am pushing other things along quickly in order to facilitate more time for Croke Park. And when I say moving things, it relates to speeches by General Secretaries, Presidents and other officials are all cutting their time, as are some of the executive today, to make sure that you, the members here, have sufficient time to discuss the important issue, which is Croke Park 2. Okay? Thank you. Now, Tony. We'll introduce the President. Yes. The other one.
Morning, folks. I'd like to introduce the President of the CPSU to open the conference, Joan Byrne.
There's no green light for me. Good morning, delegates, and welcome to Galway for this, my first conference as President of the CPSU. Can I first of all thank you, the delegates, for the tremendous honour you gave me last year in electing me as President of the CPSU. I want to say I'm extremely grateful for the support I've received from you, the union reps, throughout the year in that role. I want to thank Owen, Anne Murphy and all the head office team for their unstinting support to me as your President. I also want to thank them for their hard work and dedication to the membership of this union. I want to thank the members of the executive for their dedication they have shown in a difficult and challenging year. I want to thank them for their help and assistance to me, in particular our past presidents, whose support and help was most welcome. To our subcommittees, national committees, youth committee, global solidarity committee, thank you all for your commitment and your hard work on behalf of CPSU. On a personal note, could I say I'm delighted to see that our disabilities committee was reconstituted during 2012. I look forward to hearing from them about the progress on the disability agenda for our members in the future. And I suppose at the outset, I'd also like to mention that I'm not the only one in a new role this year. In November, we selected a new Deputy General Secretary, Derek Mullen, and while, like myself, Derek has spent many years around the CPSU, this is his first conference as Deputy General Secretary. So be kind to him, as kind as you are to me. The agenda over the past year has been an exceptionally busy one, with Croke Park 2 negotiations one of the biggest challenges facing this union in my time in the civil service. A challenge I believe we have met head-on. With determination, professionalism, I believe we have protected the pay and conditions of our members. But before I come to that in detail, I want to say a little about other important developments over the past year. I have always promoted the need for better and faster communication within our union. I'm pleased to have had the opportunity to make my own contribution this year by visiting a large number of branches. I think you all agree that the new weekly communication from head office is a great help in improving the flow of information and the interactive approach with media and the website helps to get our information and our message across to both our members and those we need to influence in the wider public. I've taken a particular interest in PMDS developments that have taken place. And while we have gained advances in getting third-party access for appeals, we do need to be increasingly vigilant to ensure that PMDS is used as a development tool to help members to do their job, not a means for local management to exert undue pressure on individuals while ignoring their training and development needs. The best means of achieving a better service for the public and improving productivity is through a work environment that is open, flexible and supportive, where staff are properly trained and can rely on their management for backup and support. It's one of the reasons my colleagues in the Garda area are seeking to have PMDS system used in the civil service introduced in their area. Redeployment has been a huge issue for our members. 2012 saw the agreement on the redeployment toolkit, which deals with the issues arising from downsizing departments. The Department of Agriculture is a prime example of such downsizing, and some of our members there are facing the challenge of having to relocate to other offices, and indeed some face the longer distance to work, which has its own impact on family life. In the Garda area, the rationalisation and closure of Garda stations has forced our members into redeployment to other Garda stations and other areas, while those who remain in the downgraded stations are being asked to carry the excess workload. Redeployment for some members means further distance to travel to work. This means extra cost to get you to your new employment. Not for you the luxury of having travel expenses paid to get to work. No, that's just a perk for those who have imposed pay cuts on us. Shame on all of you in Leinster House. It's time you all took a dose of your own medicine. Outsourcing in revenue, along with the ongoing changes being pushed by management under Croke Park agreement, have made it a busy year for those in that department, particularly both the Partnership Committee and the National Committee. In An Post, our members have faced very difficult challenges in relating to the protracted discussions on a new frontline supervisory grade and the possible changes to the pension scheme. In Aircom, the sorry consequence of the debt imposed on the company by successive owners who have bled the company dry can now be seen in the radical changes being sought from staff. While some owners became millionaires, others walked away with handsome profits. It's the ordinary workers who are left to carry the can. We must insist that the government never again allow our national strategic assets to be misused in this way. In my own area, I want to mention in particular the Garda equal pay case. I know our head office official, Teresa Dwyer, will be reporting on this later in detail. On my own behalf, I want to thank her and indeed Blair Horn for their hard work they have put in on the case. I had the opportunity to be present at the European Court of Justice last July for a hearing. I welcome the positive outcome from the hearing. And all I can say to you is there's a lot of work done and there's a lot more to do. While I may have singled out certain departments, I do fully recognise the ongoing changes and demands being made on our members in all our government departments, with each department having its own particular struggle. I now wish to return to the most challenging and difficult times the members of the Union have faced in my time in the civil service. In 2009, we endured a harsh and unfair pay cut of 7% through the pension levy. This was followed in 2010 by a further imposed pay cut of 7% that hit the low-paid unfairly. In the Croke Park agreement, we were promised the prospect of some money back for the low-paid, particularly those under 35k. But of course, the government have reneged on that promise. And not satisfied with that betrayal, they now have the audacity to come back here for more cuts on low grades. Just look at what you were expected to suffer alongside the huge pay cuts you have already taken. Longer working hours that reduce your hourly rate of pay, changes to flexible working that would make it more difficult to combine work and family life. And the truth is that puts carers who are predominantly female at a disadvantage. Changes to redeployment that could force members out of the workplace. And can you afford to be out of work? Sometimes people say to me, can I afford to work? Changes to increments that take money out of our pockets. Well, enough is enough. So I'm saying to Enda Kenny, it's time you got real, Enda. Stop kidding us. Go take the money from those who can afford it, such as the top earners, the bankers who bust this economy, and the wealthy elite. We have played our part. We have worked harder and smarter with less resources to serve the public. We have taken the cuts, we've made the changes, we've met the targets, and we've helped this country recover. But be warned, Enda, there's only so much we can do or be expected to do. Fairness and common decency require that those who can afford to take the pain must shoulder the burden now, and not the low-paid and the less well-off in our society. Our No More to Give campaign reflected the harsh reality of what members on the ground told us at meetings day in and day out over the past few months. They're hurting. They have taken enough pay cuts. They are barely surviving with high childcare and mortgage costs. They are not prepared to take any more. I want to take the opportunity to thank those who came forward to share their story with us for the campaign. I know it's difficult to go out there and put your financial position up for scrutiny by all, but we as a union know quite well that this is what strategy we have to take as low-paid employees in the civil service. The myth that we are highly paid for doing little and sit around waiting for our gilt-edged pensions has been blown in the water by us at every opportunity, but yet it still persists in the wider public. We know and live the real story. In my own case, I won't retire in a full pension because in the days I retired, I had to leave when I got married. That was the rule in the day. I returned to work when my children went to school. So, no golden handshake for me, folks. Not even for those of you who have served 40 years. If you have a full 40-year service, you still walk out on what I consider to be a small pension. You won't get the golden handshake. Not for you, colleagues, the golden handshake that those who caused this financial crisis will get when they retire. I want to send out a clear message to government this morning. We have had enough. We are prepared to fight. We've shown before that we can and will take action. We won't lie down quietly while they walk all over us. We have the strength and the mettle and the means to fight. We don't want to take industrial action, but be under no illusion, Minister Howlin, we'll fight if you don't bin these cuts. I want to commend Owen and the rest of the negotiating team for the manner in which they conducted the negotiations and say that myself and the Executive Committee fully endorsed their decision to leave the talks when no real changes were possible. The huge response by our members in our recent ballot verifies the membership support for their decision. Our overwhelming no to Croke Park supports the efforts on all our behalf. By our actions, we have set down our marker, loud and clear. We have endured enough. We are strong. We are united along with other unions who have the same message for government. In remaining united and determined, we can succeed, colleagues. I salute you in your determination and courage in saying no to the government. I urge you to remain steadfast in your determination to see the campaign through to the end. Colleagues, we will prevail. Thank you.